When you think about your life today, it is actually a sum of all of the habits. Whether you're happy or sad is a result of your habits. Whether you're physically healthy or unhealthy is a result of your habits. Whether you're successful or unsuccessful is again a result of your habits. So let's talk about what you can do to possibly improve adding a new habit, a good habit, or eliminating a bad habit. Welcome to Momentum Live. I'm Brooke Scott. So there's a great book by James Clear. It's called Atomic Habits. And he goes on to talk about, really the structure of a habit. And the science behind how it works is that there are 4 stages of a habit. You've got your cue, you've got your craving, you have your response, and you have your reward. So just in brief, a cue is something that happens that triggers that next step, which is the craving. And then you have a response, which is the actual action that you do, the habit. And then the reward is what you feel when you have done the habit or whatnot. I always think about probably the best example is, say, smoking. Even if you aren't a smoker, most people can relate to that. There's some type of cue. So for example, let's say you see someone else smoking. Well, then that triggers a craving for you to want to smoke yourself. So then you smoke a cigarette, which is the response, and then you have that feeling of satisfaction that you satisfied your craving, right? I mean, whether you smoke or not, again, that's an analogy that most everybody can understand. Is that, the cue, well, I take that back. So the response is really what you're trying to change here. So when we think about how we can possibly create good habits, James Clear goes on to, there are 4 laws on how to create good habits, right? The first one goes along with the cue. You need to make it really obvious. The second goes along with the craving, which means you need to make it attractive to you. The third goes along with the response, meaning it needs to be easy. And then the fourth goes along with the reward, and it needs to be satisfying. So I always think about going to the gym. So for example, all of my stuff is set up in the morning. So when I wake up and my feet hit the ground, I look down and I see my gym clothes and my shoes and everything sitting right there. So that's kind of, the cue. It made it easy for me. It's attractive. It's obvious. It's sitting right in front of my face. And then when I'm done working out, I get that feeling of reward because, nobody regrets getting up and going to the gym. It's usually because we didn't go. So if you're trying to break a bad habit, you can actually inverse these things and they go the opposite direction. So if you want to break a bad habit, you need to make it invisible. You need to make it unattractive, make it difficult, and then make it unsatisfying. I used to have a good friend who, wanted to eat less French fries at lunch. And so she only wanted to eat half the French fries, but hated ketchup, hated it with a passion, 1,000 burning suns. So she would eat half the French fries and then she would douse the rest of the fries in ketchup because she hated it so much. So she made it unattractive and very difficult for her to eat anything more than just half of what she had already eaten. It's kind of a funny example, but something definitely true. So when you think about it, when you think about habits in your life and the behaviors that are serving you or aren't serving you, and you think about things you want to add, or you think about, habits you want to take away, again, let's think about things you want to add. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, make it satisfying. Think about that. I hope you have a great Monday and a great week, and I'll see you guys next week.